And we're back with some more Kindle Hotseat cover reviews. Let's get started. We've actually got quite a few good ones here, so I'll try to quicken the pace a little bit because I got a lot of complaints about how slow I talked on the last video, right? All right, so here we go. Hot Blooded Episode 1, The Prodigal Prince, Supernatural Thriller Series. Okay, so it's a thriller. That's awesome. I love this cover. I love it for a couple reasons. One, I like the Eliza Hastings, right? I like the way the name is, right? I like the Hot-Blooded Episode 1, The Prodigal Prince, and I like the photo behind it. I like the black and white with the colored eyeball. I think that's great. I think that's called an iris. I don't know. I didn't go to anatomy school. I barely graduated high school. Leave me alone. Okay. All right. So I really like this cover. It's episode 1, so I always like to see if there are more episodes here, and of course there's not. So if you're going to call it episode 1, I would have episode 2 probably ready to go. Because people are going to be expecting a series. If it's not a series right yet, then just take the episode 1 off, okay? Because you can always update your cover later. It's really easy, really simple. But I would basically take that episode 1 off. I think it would actually look better without that episode 1 on, and call it Hot-Blooded Prodigal Prince. The other thing you might want to test is you might want to test switching the name of the title and the name placement. Typically, and I'm kind of looking at some nonfiction books and fiction books while around my house, typically the book title goes up top and the name goes at the bottom. And it's only when the author becomes established do they get top billing because people start to buy because of the author and not because of the subject. So like for me, right, John Grisham's, I would buy a book based upon John Grisham because I saw his name more than I care about the title, because I know it's going to probably be a lawyer thriller. So I would give top billing to the Hot-Blooded Prodigal Prince over your name. I know it's a vanity thing, but I think if you kind of switched everything around, that would be something to test. Take off the episode 1 and just have it hot-blooded until you actually have a series. If you decide to do nothing, that's okay, because I generally do like this cover, and I think you've done a fine job with it. If you only did one thing, I would take off the episode 1. If you did 2 things, I would test and see if people were more interested in the name of your subject, Hot-Blooded the Prodigal Prince, over your name as the author. Okay. And we go a-wandering. All right, Doggy Adventures of Little Bit and Gammy. I actually did a hot seat on this book previously, so I'm not going to do like a full in-depth review of the book. Right now, I'm just going to do the cover. I will say this: I love this cover. As I move my chair, and hopefully you didn't hear that. If you did, my bad. I like it because it's a good illustration, and it looks like it's done. They've done a great job. So this is the Doggy Adventures of Little Bit and Gammy, and if I remember from the hot seat, these dogs either came from Mexico. Nope, they went from Arizona down to Mexico. That's why there's a map, Tim. We should pay attention to that, right? So I like the cover of it. I think it's great. I think it's a quality cover, and I actually like it. The car is cool, not necessary if you're looking to kind of take something out. But truthfully, this cover's pretty awesome. I wouldn't mess with it, and that's why I'm glad we have so many nice covers as a result of it. So I think you did a great job with it. I like your illustrator, whoever it did. Let's just see if we can look inside and see if there's any illustrations. So you got this photo right there. Then you have that photo right there. Okay. The only other thing I would possibly consider, because obviously I can't see what this is, the rest of the story is, if the illustrator that did this cover is the same one that did this. It looks similar, but just make sure that if people are expecting high quality illustrations like this, then they log in, they see crappy ones, it's going to be a disappointing customer experience. So I like your cover. If you wanted to change something, I would probably maybe take the car off. I guess it's kind of essential to the story. I really wouldn't change too much of it. Although, if I remember correctly, Reno's mom, again, #1 in a series. Well, it's not a series. It's only one book right now. I understand that you want it to be in a series, but it's not there yet. So take that #1 in a series off there. And make sure that Catherine did all the illustrations and did as good of a quality job there. So I think you did a fine job on that cover. I really wouldn't change too much. Take the series thing off there, and I think you're good to go on that cover. I really like it. And I just think that proud of that. So very good. Okay, A Bone Thrower, Dreams of a Past Life, Book 1. Okay, did you guys all like buy the same WSO, and that's why there's like these past Book 1, Book 2, Book 7? Like let's go check Aisha. Let's see here. Okay, Aisha. All right, so we have The Bone Thrower. Oh, they do have a book 2. Well, okay, well I can't yell at you for having book 1 because there is book 2 there. Okay, so there's a small child with a piece of gold on their head, and there you go. I would tell you that I like the bone. I like the way that you made it look like the bone. What I would tell you though is I don't really like the overall text. I think it gets lost. And the other thing is kind of blowing this up. This doesn't look like a very high quality resolution, but maybe that's what you're kind of going for, kind of a ghosty thing there. I do like the background. That's not a terrible background. I would maybe sample that about with different. Like what I'd like to see is I'd like to see that in all black. Right? So instead of the blue sky, I'd like to see it in all black because it would make the text really stand out and it would make the child stand out as well. Dreams of a Past Life, that's not bad. I mean, it's simple what it is. But those are the quick things that I would do. Test the background. Okay, check the font because the font looks nice, but it also can be just a little confusing as well. Also check with some fonts and see if you can find some font that would kind of look a little different. But really well done on the cover. The photo is a good photo. Again, the main thing I would test is just kind of see the black background, see if you can make those words, the bone thrower, pop out, and the kiddo pop out as well with that. Of course, you have to change the Dreams of a Past Life to a different color, and you can obviously work with that. All right, so here we go. Rocking and rolling. We're not messing around on this one, kids. We are working hard. Okay, here we go. Shark Zone. Learn about sharks with facts and photos. No. Okay, so you got this guy surfing, and then you got the great white here that's about to just totally destroy his day. And then you've got a peace and loving rainbow and a dove or a seagull or a pelican or whatever they're called. So there we go. Okay, another good cover. Shark Zone, learn about facts and photos. I would think about the name of your book. Just because, and I know there's a ton of shark books out there, and that's what you're trying to avoid. But maybe like Danger Zone to me would be something that would be a little bit more like catching. If you're not going to go for the keyword, go for something that obviously talks about the thing. And if they're talking about dangerous sharks, maybe Danger Zone. Learn about sharks with facts and photos. Shark Zone, learn about facts and photos. Not bad. Spend a little time. This is what I like to do when I'm trying to come up with covers. Take 15 minutes, just write down all my thoughts. And when I do that, then I usually can come up with something that's decent with that. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, like what's the reasoning of the rainbow, the bird, the surfer, these other fish, stuff like that. What you might want to consider, Haley or Haley's pen name, is you might want to consider doing a single photo of a shark. Something that kind of stands out so that it stands out to people instead of being like, okay, well, I'm going to learn about rainbows and pelicans and people getting eaten by sharks. Other than that, I really don't have much to say. I like the layout of it. I like the way that the Shark Zone is pronounced, right? I like all that stuff. I even like the name gets a little lost just because that fish behind it, you can see there. You can see it right there. The name gets a little lost right there, but not too bad. So spend a little time, work on maybe the name of the book, maybe simplify it by just having a single photo of the shark or a few sharks, and not so busy with all the stuff going on. Overall, I think you did a great job and better than most on this cover. All right, so we're at 9 minutes of this one, so let's keep going. I'm going to make all these like this so we can see them. Tractors, Diggers, and Dozers, a picture book for kids by Ray Edwards. Ray, well done, sir. I like this photo because of its simplicity, and I think it looks really cool. You might want to test this against just having a photo of a tractor, a digger, and a dozer, or one of the three on there. Like the one I kind of imagine is the one that's like huge and they put it next to a human being and the human looks like an ant. Maybe something like that would be good to do. A picture book for kids by Ray Edwards. I really don't have any complaints about this. You might want to sample making this image the full image instead of just having this right here, taking this tractors, diggers, and dozers, making it smaller up top here in kind of the cloud formation, and then have at the bottom here a picture book for kids by Ray Edwards, to where that photo is the whole thing. Because I think that photo, that photo is what draws me into it immediately. I'm like, oh wow, look at that photo. That photo is pretty awesome. So I commend you for having a simple photo that has a lot of impact. Consider minimizing your book title, Tractor, Diggers, and Dozers, and making the photo stretch the entire way. Just play around with it. Other than that, Ray, really, really well done, and glad to see it. All right, rocking along. Here we go. Finding happiness. It all begins with you, and you've got a happy lady with a happy puppy and a beautiful wheat field. Why do we always find happiness in wheat fields? Can anyone explain that to me? And then it's by Leah Richwood. Another great cover. Simple image. Focuses the eye. She's smiling, the dog's smiling, the wheat's smiling. Finding happiness, it all begins with you, and you got the name. Great, great cover. I like that. Let's do this real quick here. Let's just type in, let's just go and do this. Finding happiness. Finding happiness. All right. So let's look and see what we're up against here. And again, I mentioned this in the other video. I'm going to mention this video. You should be doing this. If you're looking at different titles, you should be looking at it. Okay, so you've destroyed that one. I'm pretty sure. Yep, like it. Good photo there. 9 Rooms of Happiness. Okay, whatever. The Happiness Project. I hear that's a great book, by the way. After the Wedding, Lies and Deception. Okay, well, I don't know what the hell that's doing in a happiness thing. But as you see here, your book is definitely in its right category and definitely looks great compared to other authors out there. So it definitely stands out with that photo. Really, I wouldn't change too much about it, to be honest with you. If I was going to screw around with anything, I would screw around with the font and the Finding Happiness. But really, I think your font kind of makes it stand out. So I'm really going to suggest that you leave this one alone, and that you, if you do tweaks, you do minor tweaks to it. So well done. Great job there. All right. Dolphins, Facts, and Kids. Okay. This is going to be W.W. Wright. Dolphin Facts for Kids. I love the single image. As I'm doing these, I realize what my brain is drawn towards is a single image and clarity, and I don't want to say minimalism, but it's like just enough to tell the story without being overpowering, right? So Dolphin Fun Facts for Kids, great photo there, great name. I like the font. Again, another great cover here. You might want to, if this is a picture book, you might want to include the fact that it's got some photos or something along those lines so that people can kind of see that. You've got other books here, which these look like they're illustrated books, so that's awesome. But really well done on the cover. I like the cute fact or the cute font and how it looks, because I think it stands out from just basic text. So I think you've done a really good job here. There's really not much I would change for it. I might add, right, a picture book for kids, or if it is just facts, then it is just facts. That's just the facts, right? And because that one was so awesome and so quick, let's look at one more. Unexpected Virtues. Okay, so I actually saw this one and I was like, what the hell is this book about? So JJ's life has been wrought with tragedy. Following a fatal car accident and claimed the life of his young son, his wife Marie took her own life. 3 years later, JJ himself died in an untimely death. JJ is having a bad life. While waiting to enter the pearly gates, JJ is reunited with his wife Marie, who's been waiting those 3 years for her chance to enter into eternal paradise. But as they await their fate, their road to redemption takes a surprising twist as St. Peter gives them an unusual assignment. Okay, first of all, that's an amazing description, right? Like, I want to buy this book. In fact, I probably am going to buy this book. So I'm guessing this is fiction, right? Not a non-fiction book. Definitely not a how to do it. But I like it, Mike, or Mike, whoever Mike's handlers is. I think that it's a good book. I like the design of it. I like it even more with the description. What I'm worried about is that people won't pick it up because they're not going to read the description. So you might want to consider taking this unexpected virtues, moving it a little bit up, moving that photo up, right, and then using something from your description that could grab the reader, right? They await their fate, or something like their road to redemption takes a surprising twist, or the road to redemption takes a surprising twist, right? Unexpected virtues, the road to redemption takes a surprising twist. That's it, right? Like, I'm hooked because once I read your description, this cover made a lot more sense, and I was like, heck yes, I'm in. I want to read this book. So consider having a little tagline there: unexpected virtues, the road to redemption takes a surprising twist, and then your name. To me, it's worth testing because it hooks people. It's going to give them something to look at and go, oh, let me look at your book description here. Oh man, check out this book description. This guy is awesome. I want to read it. Your description made me want to buy your book. If you get something on the cover of your book to get me to read your description, then I am going to buy this book. All right? I'm just curious real quick. It's 368,000. It's only been published a couple days, so you can still change it. I like the cover. Very simple, very basic, very well done. Add a tagline to it, Mike, and I think you're on your way to a bestseller. All right, that's it for this video, and I'll be shooting another one here very, very soon for you.